Yo guys, welcome to episode 3 of weekly small cap talk. In this session again, like I do always, I'm going through the top runners of the week. Top 5-6 runners. I'm going to highlight them, see why they were running, what technicals behind them, and then I'm going to go through some potential runners into next week, as well as just an overview of the Discord. So let's get right into this video. We are going to start with a big one, which is WHLR, and why this run. So again, let's just look at this chart, right? And I'm switching over to a higher time frame, looking at 30-minute chart. We can quite clearly see here a nice push with a low volume pullback, and then boom, hit 15. So from this low here, what, $1.1 we've moved, wow, see, over 1,000%, which is absolutely crazy move. But let's just highlight why. Let's go through the daily chart first. Of course, this moves, you can't predict it move, let's be honest. If we could, we'd all be billionaires by now. We'd be trading in the Bahamas. But let's just see why these plays ran and how we could potentially catch these plays. First, we look at the daily level, right? And we have a clear daily level here. This historically last time this chart held this level, broke down, retested, and then completely broke down. This is usually one of the most strongest areas on the chart. Followed by this area at 7.5, which is another key area which we have held historically. And again, we broke down this from this area. So these two levels are the most significant levels for me on the chart, right? I'm going to move a bit down as well, just so you can see another level, which is at 3.9, and we quite clearly see this level here as well. I did give this in the Discord. I gave it as a lottery trade during after hours. If you see on my Twitter, I gave this around this level here, which is around this, I think this around this level here, actually around the $4 areas. I gave it after hours, and since then, what, we ran around 300%. And again, we also Tiger also gives the pre-market around the $2 level, and what a run it has had. Of course, you're not holding a full position, etc. But it's very motivating to see a play like this run, and I'm hoping next week we'll see a nice push into small caps, because I have felt like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it wasn't too many runners. There were runners, don't get me wrong, but it was hard to really get into them. They were either pulling up too quick, and they were pulling back too much. Now with this, we're just looking for setups and seeing what setups are the most appropriate. Let's look at the 15-minute chart, and we quite clearly see, let's keep our weave up on as a technical strength indicator. One of the first steps on this was here around this chart. We quite clearly see we break weave up, we hold this with the doji candle followed by a Greek candle close above, again pushing this price towards 6.73, and then we quite clearly see we come back and we retest this area. This is the area on the daily chart as we marked earlier. We retest this area. I gave this a lot of trade in the Discord, and bam, hit $15. What a move, man, what a move. Makes me happy to see these kind of moves, and honestly, it's great to I'm hoping in the future, down the line, we see more of these runners. Of course, we got elections coming up in November, so there will be a lot more volatility to come within the markets in general, in the broader markets. Now let's move on to another play, WISA. This is another play that ran. It didn't run as much as WHLR, of course, but it is a runner, and it's something we looked at in the Discord, right? We traded this. Tiger alerted this at $2, around the $2 range. He alerted this around here. I'll go over his alert, but look, it hit 3.72, so a nice 100% move from his alert. Now, we quite clearly see, once we hold this level, this is an area of previous supply turn demand. What that means is an area where it was rejecting, sellers were stepping up, and buyers were letting go. We tried to break up, we couldn't, and ultimately it came back down. Once we broke out, we came back, we retested this level. Look, we held above. Once we held this level, boom, it made a nice move to the upside. Very encouraging to see. But again, let's look at the daily chart, and you can quite clearly see the areas of resistance. Look, this level is quite significant historically. This is an area where we previously tried to break out from. Unfortunately, we couldn't, and it started the next downtrend. And we quite clearly see we went and we tested this area again. Like what a move on this. Again, with these type of plays, what you want to always do is, when you enter, keep your stop loss. From whatever your stop loss is, at least have, for example, with this, my stop losses are usually 5% max, and then you can have a profit target of 7 to 10%. First target, sell 70%, and let your runners run. That's just how it's done. That's how it should be done. Now let's look at another play, which is EAST. This wasn't a consistent runner, but it was a runner. I think this ran on pre-market time, and yeah, it hit 3.15. But I just want to see why this didn't run anymore. I'm going to start by the daily chart. Let's look at the daily chart. We quite clearly see a level here, and look clearly. This is the first thing we see. We see a level at 2.78, which is a key area of resistance, and we can see this is the area we kind of rejected into. We couldn't base above, right? And once we see that area, there's a gap fill as well. There's a gap fill here around $3 as well, which we filled. So now let's just mark the 5-minute chart on this. So we had our first pull up here, right, and it's strong above VWAP. So the best entry on this was this first pullback. It had a nice big volume surge with a low volume pullback, indicating a nice amount of buy stepping up. Now let's go down there. We close above, good entries, and since then what we hit 3.15. And at this level again, this was the daily level, right? And we could see quite clearly we went above this level, we couldn't hold above. There was a lot of sellers stepping up here, showing an increased amount of sellers. Buyers then let the stock go, and since then we have not recovered, showing why your daily levels are so important and why we encourage you continuously use these levels. It's very important you do so. Reason being is, now if you reject off a key major level like that, you can quite clearly see, okay, maybe we don't run as much, maybe the play, there's a reason why it's stopping, right? So just make sure when you do take these plays, you do have these levels marked just in case, right? You don't want to enter a daily resistance just for it to reject and make a big move to the downside. Now IVP is another one. IVP was a lot more of a random runner. Again, I gave this chart on Twitter. I gave this chart as a downtrend break, and once we broke the downtrend, we ended up hitting like 1.1. So the downtrend break was around, shows around this level here, and we broke the downtrend. We could quite clearly see, and look at the move we made, hit 1.47, and again, even into, it tried to break 1.2 on the day after, a couple of days after, and look, this has been a run for quite a long time now, and it's been a historical runner. If you look at the daily chart as well, historically this play just has its pops and drops. So here you had this pop to here, and then now you had this pop towards this level here. So it's quite interesting, quite intriguing to see. Historically this has also hit 16 from 1.2, so that's probably why a lot of buyers start to get attracted to this area. Now this could be a potential watch. I will highlight this into next week. I'll keep them on watch list, but this one is a lot harder to trade as well. Reason being, look, once we broke this level, we had this resistance. Once we broke this level again, we popped up quick, and we got this resistance here, just here. We started to fight this level, we broke up, and then we had an instant push down without any level of bounce, any dips, and it kind of just faded away throughout the day. So there's a lot of bag holders on this as well, from what I know, a lot of shorts, and it's very intriguing to see. Now another play I'm going to look into is, we've got CNFR, a lot more of a tougher play as well. We were looking at this in the Discord, but you quite clearly see there was not a lot of volume on this, and it was just running to the upside, right? It was just running clean, and I couldn't really find any entries in this for myself personally. But we see it was just holding over. We were fighting, we were up all day, and then it just came to a halt down, and it just stopped running. So it's very, very strange, very intriguing. And again, I'm just looking at this chart. The chart is very thin, right? With any amount of volume, this could really run, like really run. It won't take much for this to really pop up and push towards the upside. I'm looking at this 4-hour chart as well. It could be a potential run as well, but again, it's looking more to the downside right now than it is the up. So into next week, let's see what this can do. In order for this to run into next week, I would mark these levels here and here. So this is a potential bullish pennant. I'd mark this. I'd look for entries above, I'd say above this trend line, around 1.7 ish, unless we start seeing a bounce, a nice bounce here. We start holding, really start holding this level, and if you can do that, potentially another push towards 2.1 plus. It just needs a lot of volume for this to really go. Now I'm just trying to see if there's any other plays. BLMZ was a play from today, which is going to be one of my last plays I'm going to mark, and this was very, very good. Again, this play itself, let's just see. Look, it was running from pre-market, which I gave pre-market. You even can see on the Twitter, and I gave this around 1.4. So reason why is, look at this level here. This was significantly, this was a huge resistance level, and you could clearly see, right, before we get an ascending triangle pattern here as well, which was today. But I gave this into yesterday. I gave this around this 1.2, 1.3 level, So we were in this very early. Started to hold, it could already break this level. Once it broke this level and it closed above, we saw a big move towards 2.8, which is very, very nice to see. And not only that, we pulled back very nicely around this 2.3 level, and we continued with our moves, showing a very nice technical play. And I want to see more of this next week, right? Again, look, we held our view up, very bullish, very nice, 2.8 hits. Let's look at the daily chart. The daily chart is very, very clean. I think it wanted to go for this gap fill. It filled the gap and it kind of just settled down after that. I mentioned in the Discord, make sure you take your profits. Make sure, of course, you manage your risk well. Now let's just look at this again. Maybe what can they do next week? Next week I wouldn't really touch this unless we reclaim 2.8 personally. But a very nice move and very encouraging to see these kind of plays. Now I want to highlight another play, WTO. I'm holding this into next week. As you guys know, I mentioned it on Twitter. I'm holding lotos on this play. Small size play, not a big size, I'm not gonna lie to you. But what we're looking at is, I've done a breakdown on this, but let's just do another one. 0.1380 being the most significant level on the daily chart, because here this is where we rejected previously. And then you got these levels here, which for me 0.07 will be the most significant. Going into next week we break that and we can start a really nice run towards 0.0750 and then potentially the 0.09 level. However, if you do drop below 0.06 into this level, I will be a bit more cautious, and it might just signal into this play. Now this play, apparently there is a debate if there is going to be RS or not, so do be careful, don't hold it like a lunatic, and yeah, take those profits along the way. We just want to see, I'm just looking at any other plays that potentially ran, but yeah, that's all there is with these kind of plays. I wanted to show you guys my journal for this week as well, just to get you guys in the habit of making your own journals. So this is my journal. I never took as many trades this week. Again, for me personally, my personal setups didn't show up. I did play other stocks during after hours, during lotto, like some very small size, but my normal position plays, like my high position, the ones I put a lot of money into, I didn't really trade much. I traded Hollow, Fifi, Mullin, Wissa once, and then Hoth. So I traded one ticker on Tuesday, 3 on Wednesday, and then 1 on Thursday. I did quite well on HOTH, 8%, 7%, 6%, 4%. And it was 4 out of 5 this week for me, 80%. And I'm actually giving these alerts with entries and exits, not just showing, oh, you could get in here without a stop loss. I'm giving my own stop losses. I'm giving my own thesis behind these plays as to why you should enter. So again, by looking at the journals will help you guys. Will help you see where you're going wrong and where you're going right. And I just wanted to show you in the Discord how it works, kind of thing. So let's just look at the Discord, right? So you got your entries here. Again, Hollow is one of my examples, like I said to you, 0.3950. We hit 0.4243. We hit 2 targets. Of course, it's not a crazy amount of profits, but this is just how I trade it, right? It's my conviction, my strategy, my thesis. A lot of people overtrade. A lot of people take 100 trades a day. I couldn't care less. I'll just stick to what I know. So again, even with Tiger, look at his style. He's giving you plays. He's telling you when he's in a play. And let's look at his alerts. You can see as well. You got APDN, APLD, Wissa. See, this was a big one, $2 a Wissa, and it moved around 100% from this level. So there's a lot going on with the Discord. Again, if you want to join, you could click the link below, and it's a lot of fun, right? It's good to have a community there to help you, to be by your side. I wanted to also show you, wait 1 second, to show you this flow as well. This after our flows, which we have. So this is where I give all my lotos. Look, WTO, IMBS, I gave after hours 8%, 8, 9, 10. I think I hit about 15%. And then again, another one is we hit WHLR. Look, WHLR. This was mine. We can't get lotos, risk under 3.99, and what we hit 15. That's a 200% move. Not even that, we also had BLMZ. BLMZ was our more reserve play. But again, now we're in WTO. Look after hours. I'm hoping we will take this over the weekend. Let's drop below trend line, small size lotto from earlier. So it's very simple, very easy. And again, we have so much education here, man. So much education. But that's all it is for the Discord. But I do highly suggest you guys journaling your trades, at least in the long run. If you want to become a successful trader and pay yourself a wage, it's very, very important you do so. So again, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope this video helps you. Have an amazing weekend. Hit that like button, drop a comment below. I'm gonna catch you guys on Monday. Peace.